Morning, gentlemen and lady. It's good to have you here.
Good morning, Mr. Balde, Ibrahim Asori Balde.
Thank you.
Khalilullah. Good morning, Mr. Adi and Amadou, our very own Amadou Tamba.
Good morning to you, Julde.
Yes.
We have 1, 2, 3 people and a Jola in our midst.
And if my voice...
and a Jola. 3 people and a Jola here today. Tamba, I promised to deal with all the Jolas. I told you.
Except me.
Okay. So good morning. How are you?
Morning. I'm doing good. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here as well this morning.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, Julde. Today it's going to be very interesting.
Very.
It's a program of mixed feeling and a program of, getting the right thing at the right place as well. Because, I mean, we need to suggest what are we going to do next. I mean, who are we going to give the chance to lead the Gambia. So if you see Amadou Tamba here, I know that we are about to talk about sports.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And if you see me wearing this,
jersey,
you know we're about to talk about sports.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's start with our code before we get into that. Tamba, I know you have a different engagement, and right now time is against you. But quickly, we want to do the code. We share ideas and see what the viewers are going to think about this. So now let's see. Julde, take us through.
So our quote this morning is the potential within you is greater than the obstacles around you.
It's a Jola quote, apparently.
It is.
From Fonye Butterboot Kantora.
Well,
what's your take on it?
Yeah, to me, I think it's right. I will say it's right. It's the right quote. Why? Because whenever you face challenges, when you think of what you can do, I think it will motivate you and push you to believe that these challenges should not stop you from getting where you want to get to. So I think I am totally in agreement with the quote.
Okay, it's so direct and straightforward. Mr. Adi?
Yeah, it's very sort of inspirational and kind of self-motivational. You look at a quote like this, and it's about having confidence, self-confidence. You might see things that other people might see as obstacles, but within yourself you think, actually, this is a challenge. So people might think they're obstacles. I don't see them as obstacles. These are challenges for me to overcome. And so that confidence within you and the potential within you to overcome them or get over those obstacles will drive you on. And I think for many of us, even without realizing, we probably come across such situations in our lives. You know, somebody might say, oh, I don't think you can do this. And then you think, okay, I'll show you.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Ibrahim?
Yes, I think sometimes people are hindered by fake evidence appearing real. That's fear.
Yeah.
Sometimes fear can make you lose your confidence. I mean, self-esteem. I mean, you think you are not good at something. At some point, I thought many years ago, I cannot do live television. I was horrible. I was very bad at it.
Okay.
You know, at some point, even radio. The first day I entered the Unique FM radio studio in Gaba Jahumpa Road, I was trembling. I was shaking. I was like, I hope I'm going to do this. You know, next minute I find myself on QTV. You know, on the biggest morning program.
Shaking,
Nobody can
shaking
deny
even
that.
more.
Nobody can deny that. Is that not a success?
It is.
Did I overcome my fears?
You,
of course.
you did.
That's it here.
Indeed.
So that's my interpretation.
Absolutely.
And Julde, don't hide. What's your interpretation on this? I know that we've all given our views. Why not you?
Mr. Adi, Mr. Adi, don't, it's too early. You and I know that we will not be in the same page, but please don't start it now. I know we will start it later.
I want to see a tussle here.
Later.
Yes.
That's a simple one.
to see a
You
tussle.
asked all of us what our take on the quote was. I'm simply asking what's your
That's
take.
true. So for me, the potential within you is greater than the obstacles around you. Obviously, you got to believe in yourself. You know, what you have within is greater than all the obstacles. I mean, these are just passing storms or clouds. They will pass. This too shall pass. Whatever, you know, comes your way, know that it is temporary. Mr. Ade. So it shall pass, you know, but within you, you know, what is in you will always be greater than whatever is surrounding you, or whatever challenges that you are encountering. So that is why don't let yourself be carried away by the situation.
Sure.
Always reflect on yourself and know that, you know, this will pass, but don't let it, you know, carry you along.
Yeah.
You know, when that happens, it means the tendency of you losing yourself is very high. So whatever situation comes your way, don't let it go with you. Always be yourself, you know, because know that you're greater than whatever comes your way.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
I know I plagiarize.
Well, you are the
from all
only
of you.
one who can
No,
change your
but
situation.
you said when you
Yes.
read it, you said it's very direct, and it is direct. And I think
So
you
let's
summed it
hop
up.
quickly to sports. Let's talk about what happened yesterday.
Gone.
What's that? Mauritania beating Algeria? No,
I think so. No, let's talk about the big story. Gambia, Cameroon. You understand? On the whole, our boys can play. They can play like that. They played the game well. In fact, the commentator was saying Gambia is at the, you know, advantage side. I mean, it's like Gambia is playing the whole game. And after the game, we've seen the game did not go our own way, like the direction that we wanted the game to go.
Sure.
You know, but unfortunately for us, the coach also resigned as well. So we have a video of that. Maybe we can take a look at that. It was on the QTV news yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. If we have the video of the coach press conference, then we can play that.
They're refusing to obey your orders.
Yeah, that must
Mr.
be
Bade.
Gabo.
Gabo.
That must be Gabo.
But
Yeah, so we are back. Now, before they play that video, let's engage Tamba and Mr. Ade on what happened yesterday. Did you see that coming, Tamba, the resignation of the Gambian coach, Thompson Fit?
Well, I will say no. No, for the reason being he has guided this team to the African Cup of Nations for the second time. Gambia as a country, we've been trying for quite a very long time since we started playing football and never got there. He came with the mega resources that we had, was able to take the country to the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. And in that tournament, Gambia were the lowest ranked team ever to qualify to an AFCON in Cameroon. And he went there, defied all odds, managed to qualify from a group where you have Mali, Tunisia, Mauritania, and then get to the round of 16, played against Guinea-Conakry, played a very good game, won, get to the quarterfinals, unfortunate to be eliminated by host nation Cameroon. This time around, the team returned to the qualifiers, the last game under difficult circumstances because there was an earthquake in Morocco before that game against the Democratic Republic of Congo, going down 2-0. Managing to motivate your players to come back stronger in the second half and earn that important draw. Getting to the AFCON, we all knew when the draw was made that it was absolutely a very, very difficult group for the Gambia. 5-time champions Cameroon, defending champions Senegal, Guinea, who also have the experience in the same group, expecting Gambia to qualify from that group. It is a game of football, so you have to believe. It's 90 minutes and 11v11. But it was unfortunate, and looking at Gambia's preparation towards the AFCON, also so many difficulties that the team went through, and getting to the tournament, losing against the champion Senegal, again to Guinea and Cameroon as well. But to me, I was surprised as to why he decided to resign at such a point. But as we always know, the saying goes, a good dancer must know when to leave the stage. And I think Tom has put into cognizance so many things. Look, I've qualified Gambia to back-to-back AFCONs. Will I be able to do anything more than this? And I think maybe that led to his resignation. But to me, I was surprised that he will resign last night.
Yeah,
yes.
Mr. Ade.
For me, I was surprised, but at the same time, I can understand why he did it. For all that Amadou has said about what he has achieved, he's actually faced nothing but negativity in the Gambia,
Sure.
one has to say. And I think he realized that having gone out, finishing bottom of the group, tough World Cup qualifying ahead, he'll probably just be subject to even more negativity. Tom Samfier, I heard somebody saying on the GRTS discussion, did he take us to AFCON or did we take him to AFCON? That's, yeah, you could argue the point, you know, that we had a team good enough to take him to AFCON for the first time, and that he didn't take us there. Well, now he's gone. We can find somebody who's going to obviously take Gambia to win the World Cup, never mind AFCON, because really, I heard people saying that he's been lucky. Well, obviously the coaches before him for the Gambia had been unlucky because we'd never qualified. He qualified us once, qualified us twice. Also heard somebody saying that it was a moment of individual brilliance that had kind of saved his career, his job with the Gambia. Well, who picked those players? Did they pick themselves or did he pick them? So I've always thought it was a nonsense around him, really. And there's been a lot of negativity. And to be honest, in spite of some of the people who I heard saying, we thank him for everything he's done. Actually, they're not. They're being hypocrites, because some of those same people who were saying that have been nothing but negative about him from day one. So he probably thought, good riddance, you know, let them get somebody else and see.
You know, I mean, we cannot deny the fact that, I mean, Tom is the coach that took us to AFCON, our first AFCON. I can remember.
First and second.
First and second. I can remember few years back when all countries are heading to AFCON, the Gambia doesn't go. You understand? There was a time, you know, almost all Gambians support Senegal because they are closer. They are our neighboring, country. So it's like, it's difficult. We need to respect and give the devil its due. That's what I think. You know, sometimes things are so hypocritical in such a way. Those that were criticizing the coach, saying a lot of things about him, they are the ones going back on Facebook writing, well, he deserved, he deserved to be thanked. He was a good coach. At some point, I saw that, I was like, this is hypocritical.
I think some people wanted him to be sacked rather than for him to resign. They're almost disappointed that he wasn't sacked.
Yeah.
You know? And so you're right. I mean, some of the people, we know them because some of them are friends of ours, and they've been just hypocrites. They wanted him to be sacked. They wanted him to stay on. And then they'll say, you know, to hell with you. But he did the right thing. And he ended with this beautiful phrase. He said, you know, I feel Gambian. I will always be the smiling coach.
Of the Gambia.
Not coach of the Gambia, which was a nice phrase. And I wish I'd thought of that phrase. It's quite clever.
When you look at the game, I mean, I think we've lost, you understand? But at some point we tried. I mean, imagine a team. This is our second AFCON. And, you know, we are playing against big teams. Yesterday we played against Cameroon. And, you know, it didn't go easy for Cameroon. You know, many people were thinking they'll just come climb on our heads and pass. And it wasn't like that. It's a different game.
It's not like that. Gambia has a very good crop of players right now. And the Cameroon that we played, they might have the name, but they are not the Cameroon of Roger Milla and those players. You know, even in Cameroon, people were complaining about them. But nonetheless, they're still ranked far higher than the Gambia. And so for us to put up that kind of performance against them really was something. And just very, very quickly, I watched simultaneously. I had on my computer and on the screen, the Gambia game was playing. But I was watching the Senegal game against Guinea. Senegal were lucky to win that game. Guinea played their best match of this tournament and should have beaten Senegal, really. I mean, Senegal had the finishing. And in fact, they fouled Guinea way more than Guinea fouled them. And I'm surprised a couple of players didn't get red cards for Senegal. I was surprised because Guinea, I thought they were a bit lucky because of the negative tactics that we adopted against them. And that's why they ended up winning that game. But when I saw them yesterday, they're a far better side than I had reckoned.
So what's next for Guinea, Tamba? I mean, are they still in?
Yeah, Guinea will automatically qualify as one of the best third place teams because 4 teams will be, of course, selected to make it to the round of 16 as the third best placed teams. You know, Ghana finished third and with 2 points, so Ghana will not be able to make it. They will pray that results in tonight's games go their way. In the other groups as well, we've seen Mauritania qualify with just 3 points. So that's why Gambia were doing everything possible to win yesterday's game and qualify as one of the best third place teams. Ivory Coast are also on the edge, waiting for tonight's matches and get a result. They will pray that the results go in their favor so that they will be able to qualify into the round of 16. Just as Mr. Ade said earlier on, I think what people fail to understand in the game of football is, as a coach, at times you don't look at the way your team play. The most important thing in coaching is result, and you employ and you sack based on results. It doesn't matter how your team is playing. And if you look at the profile of the coach that we have in Tom Sanfate, I think he's a coach who is very oriented when it comes to defending. There was some point when he took Sabab, he played 5 games with them and only conceded 1 goal in the 5 games, taking the team to the 2nd position in their national league. And he also was with Namibia and Zimbabwe as well. When he took charge of Namibia, I think they went about 12 games, not winning 1 game in 12. And when he came, he changed a lot of things with regards to Namibia. He took them to their best ranking in 10 years. And when he took over the Gambia, we were ranked 168. Now we are ranked 126. So he has moved us about 42 places. He becomes the 4th coach to take us to the AFCON. And again, just as Ade said, as a coach, no one can say, okay, this team take this coach to this level. Because you call the shots, you make the decisions, you select the players, you design your tactics, and you select your 11, and you make the substitutions. So whatever success within a team, you cannot take the coach out of that. So I think he has raised the bar as far as Gambian football is concerned. He has raised the bar. Now that he has left a vacuum. The guy who is coming in to fill his boots really know that he has a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
Because qualifying Gambia to AFCON is
now the minimum we demand.
Now that have to be there. The expectation is very high.
The minimum,
we cannot get a coach, and next AFCON we are not qualified.
We are not qualifying. And even qualifying to the AFCON, you have to go beyond the quarterfinals, because he has taken us to the quarterfinals.
So that's where I even want to come in. Now that Tom Sanfate is gone, what happens at the national level? We have to put our house in order as far as Gambia football is concerned. And how do we do that? We know that there has been a lot of allegations of, the team having to be divided, even amongst themselves, that, you have various camps within the team. All those things need to be sorted out if it is anything to go by. And not just that, there has been lots of allegations of corruption in GFF as far as it is concerned. That also needs to be tackled if it is anything to go by.
Allegations are not facts.
They are not facts, but Mr. Ade, we've seen the 1 million toilet. We've seen the 1 million toilet, and the GFF have not come out
what's
to.
What's that got to do with AFCON qualification?
No, it has to do with a lot of it, Mr. Ade. It has to do with the AFCON. It has to do with everything that has to do with football. If there are nepotism, if there is allegations of nepotism, if there is allegation of tribalism, if there is allegation of,
I'm glad you're saying allegation. Let me put this simple question to you. The $1 million toilet or $1 million toilet, did it stop us getting to AFCON twice? No.
It didn't stop us.
Okay, so what's your problem?
What I'm saying is, in as much as we are blaming the coach that he is the problem, in most cases, we're saying that
who says he's the problem?
everybody says that he's the problem, and he should
everybody,
go.
I'm not.
Mr. Ade,
So
the majority says that.
Mr.
Ade,
stop generalizing, and that's why I don't
allow me to
generalizing.
learn.
No, you're generalizing.
No.
You're saying everybody.
Hold on.
Most of people think that he is
and
the
I'm
problem.
not. No, stop saying
Maybe
everybody.
you are.
people
Maybe
think
you
that
think
he's
like.
taken
Maybe you
a
think
allow
like
me to
that.
learn.
Maybe he thinks
Don't
like
land
that.
with when you're taking off on the wrong foot, because stop saying everybody, most people, whatever. You haven't taken a sample of people to know that. And don't just be
Mr.
guided
Ade,
by what's on social media.
The fact of the matter is, no, social media, they are Gambians and they are part of everything.
No, I said
social
don't
medo
just-
very
so
easy,
Mr.
Mr. Ade. You
Ade,
cannot
do
take
you
social
agree-
media
no,
away from,
Julie, hold on.
because
Are
this
you
is where
listening?
conversations
Okay,
happen.
do you agree with the
Are you
$1 million
listening?
toilet?
Of course.
Is that
But like
fair?
I said, what's that got to do with us? We still
has
qualify.
everything
But
to do with
financially,
it.
it's going to affect us. It's going to
what
bankrupt
way?
us financially.
Mr. Ade,
But
it
it
has
has not.
everything to do with it.
No,
Okay, we have to put our
I
house.
think we're mixing up things. We're
No.
mixing up things.
No, we are not
No,
mixing
no,
up
let me,
things.
let, yeah,
We
let me
have to
take.
put our
I
house
take
in
on board. I
Julian,
take on board about
let's
putting the house
hear
in
from
order.
Mr. Ade.
I
Yes.
take
No,
what.
but he did not allow me to land.
No, no,
he didn't
I take-
even know where I was heading
Well,
to.
I didn't allow you to land when you started saying everybody. Don't generalize.
Okay. Mr.
Don't
Ade, okay,
generalize.
that is granted.
Okay.
Now allow me to land.
Let land now. You know, because you've taken off
Really,
on
I'm
the
not-
wrong
no,
trajectory.
it's not wrong, honestly.
No, but don't say
it's my
everybody
opinion.
again.
So
Please.
you
It's
want to
my
tell
opinion.
me Julde's flight
But don't
did not
speak for me.
have air
Don't speak for me.
or AC?
Don't speak
You
for
want
me.
to
It
tell
has
me
AC
her flight
and it
doesn't have AC?
Mr. Ade knows what
Ah,
I'm really
Mr. Ade.
talking about. He knows what
I
I'm
just
talking
You
don't
can
about.
count a lot of
I
things
don't
here.
want her to speak for me. So don't say everybody.
Mr. Ade,
please.
Tamba,
I'll
don't mind
speak for
these
you
people.
then.
Don't worry about them.
Okay.
I know,
can speak for
I
myself.
said it
It's like-
earlier on that we are not going to be
My
in the
mouth
same
is working
footage.
fine.
Seriously.
I can speak
But
for
honestly,
myself.
you know, frankly speaking, all jokes aside, we have to put our house in order, you know, at the national level.
Nobody denies.
We
Nobody
have to
denies
put all, you know, a lot of things are going wrong and we have to fix it as a people, as Gambians. I mean, you know, the reason why there are other people that are ahead of us, there are a lot of things that are happening. Before going to the AFCON, we've seen lots of problems coming, you know, from their bonuses, from, you know, the issue of
Let me stop you there. Let me give you one example. Senegal. They won all 3 of their matches. 2 days before this competition started, you know what the big news in Senegal was? The coach has not received his pay. They owe him 180,000 euros. Did that stop Senegal qualifying? So don't start mixing up stuff as if that's affecting the football. It doesn't. They won all 3 of their games and their coach has not been paid. Aliou Cissé has not been paid. Didn't stop them.
So they get that much money?
That's not a lot. That's like that's not even half a year's pay.
180,000
euros.
Not dollars,
That's
euros.
not a lot. Euros. It's not a lot.
But that's a lot of money in the Gambia.
Steven
That's millions.
Gerrard
Players are
in
not paid
El
in
Ittifaq
their
is
national
getting
currencies.
£12 million a year. He's one of the highest paid coaches in the world.
I'm
Steven
thinking of
Gerrard,
a
and
coach
he's doing
career.
rubbish. You know, but
Mr.
but what I'm saying is
You think it's
certain
easy?
things, certain things. I agree with you generally that we need to get our house in order, because you take, for example, you take the Senegal national team, the men's team, defending champions. They've just won all three of their games in the group stages. Under 20, they're doing well. Under 19, they're doing well. Under 17, they're doing well. They have, look at the stadium that they've just built. So yes, I agree with you on that. But you know, it's like the toilet didn't affect our 2 times qualification for ACT. That's the point I want to make to you, and make very, very strongly.
Okay.
Let's not mix things up. You know, there are things that we need to do to get our house in order football-wise, but there are things that, you know, the fact that there's a 12-minute, it didn't let the coach start picking negative formations, you know, didn't mean people missed or scored own goals. You know, so, you know, let's not mix things up, you know. Football in order, house in order, fine. But stuff on the pitch and the coaching staff and so on. Mind you, AS Roma have just sacked Jose Mourinho, so, you know, he might be our next coach. Who
I am
knows?
told the toilet, the 1 million toilet, the walls are made of gold.
They must be. They must be, because that's a lot of
That's
money.
what I had.
That's a lot of
Tamba.
money. But on a serious point.
I mean,
There is
let's
a lot of wastage.
let's
Yeah.
talk about the timing of the coach resignation. I think he should not have resigned. I mean, yesterday. He should have at least allow it to cool down, to come back to Gambia. Put
He's
everything.
already said it.
Just as
when you're the dancer.
Just as Ade said, I
said it
think
already.
a good dancer should know when to leave the stage.
Yeah.
And just as Ade said, I think he has sat down and put a lot of things into context, because he himself know that so many Gambians are not in line with what he's doing.
Or according to Julia, everybody.
Yeah,
Yes,
not
everybody.
not everybody.
Let's conduct a survey. It's everybody.
No,
Trust
not everybody.
me, the majority.
Not everybody. So many Gambians are not in line with what he is doing, because they believe, yes, Gambia should play flamboyant football. We have the players who can play more than what we are seeing right now. But as I said earlier on, coaching is not about playing good football. There was one interview, I think it was after the game against Guinea, where he said at times he thinks he prefers to play bad and win than playing good and losing.
Yeah.
And you put into this, you put everything into context. At the end of the day, even the fans will prefer their teams to play bad and win than playing good and losing. You cannot be playing good every day and keep on losing, and you're playing bad and winning. So I think, to me, he has sat down and looked at all these things and say, okay, I've qualified this nation to 2 AFCONs. I've reached the quarterfinals. I've been the coach who came here and won an away game for over 30 years. I think it will be difficult for the next coach to achieve all these things. So I think this is the right time for me to leave, knowing that we have about 5 or 6 months before we play our next World Cup qualifiers. So he thinks it's the right time to leave. As you said, others will say, okay, he should have come here to, of course, take time before he resigns or so. But in his interview earlier on, he said he has consulted a lot of people. I think this was in his mind for quite a long time. He believes this is the right time for him to leave. He loves the Gambia. He might come back as a tourist or so. When he told his daughter that he's leaving the Gambia, the daughter cried. So he has put in place so many things before he arrived at such. To me, as I said, I was surprised, but I think to him, if I'm in his shoes, I think it's the right time to leave.
I've seen a lot of pictures of different coaches circulating on social media.
You mean as potential?
Potential. I mean, I don't understand how people behave. I mean, well, it's normal to suggest this is, why not this one? Why not that one? But it's left to the authorities to look at the most credible one. I mean, to run our football.
No, but football being football, and I think Julde has proved it. Everybody has an opinion about football, and that opinion will include suggesting people as coach. It's natural, you know. I mean, you go to Algeria, 2019, they were champions. Mauritania knocked them out yesterday.
Last edition, they finished bottom of the group.
Finished bottom of the group, last one and this one. Just as recently as 2019, they beat Senegal in that.
Algeria? Good?
BBC, when they named their 5 teams to win this tournament, Algeria was one of those 5.
They mentioned them.
To win it, and they finished bottom of the group, and they're going home.
Oh my God!
And by the way, Mauritania will be playing their neighbors, Cape Verde.
Thank you, Mr. Ade. I mean, Tamba, I think it's high time for you to go and do your thing.
Definitely.
I mean, if you want to, you know, keep in touch with Tamba again, he's on Q Radio. You'll be on Q Radio from here.
For sure, yeah.
Yes. And what's the name of that program?
Bright Sports.
Bright Sports.
Yes.
On
And
Q
it's
Radio.
definitely worth listening to.
So, I mean, from here, he will be in the studios of Q Radio. We'll take a short break. After the break, the program continue. Yes. Oh, okay. So, we'll be
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Soro. Go. Ebe dawa full network suda tili. QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata. QCell. Most reliable network dumala keta wati. QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam pona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bako na jala fayola network ko se taria. QCell. Suñu boss. Ñu fi njëkka indi 3G ñu dellu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Suñu boss. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Suñu boss. Gambia bela nyon tawo fele QCell. Suñu boss. Ko fasunta buka busi QCell. Suñu boss. Itella multi milka kukutol nati Gambia QCell meta lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. QCell suñu boss. Connect solo be bambandi QCell suñu boss. QCell most innovative QCell suñu boss.
Yes, we are back again. And now we have Mamadou Gajaga on the line. He is currently in the Ivory Coast. And let's hear from Mamadou Gajaga, the happening.
In between teams.
Yes, Gajaga.
Yes, welcome to Yamoussoukro, where the Gambia's participation in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire is over after yesterday's defeat to Cameroon 3-2. It was a crazy game, crazy scenes at the Stade de Bouaké, where it was Cameroon who scored first early in the second half, and then, you know, Gambia equalized, and later on, after the substitution of Ibrahim Akoli, who added a second goal, 2-1 at the time in favor of Gambia, it looks like the game could be killed and, kept at a pace where the Gambia would secure all 3 points. But unfortunately, Cameroon scored again through some mistake. And then again, there was another Cameroon goal, 3-2 it ended in added on time. Hugely disappointing result for the Gambia, but the performance is appreciated by almost a lot of people who support the Gambia, including the Ivorians, who were cheering up the Gambian team for obvious reasons. They wanted the Gambia to win because that really puts them on a very good position to secure one of the best third place teams. Because Ivory Coast, as we speak right now, they're still waiting as to what happens in the results of today's groups. So at the stadium in Stade de Bouaké, it was wonderful scenes there. Gambia showed one of the most respectable performance in the competition. Their performance against Senegal wasn't that bad enough. Their performance against Guinea was not a good one. The coach said they definitely needed to regroup and learn from that and gave their best against Cameroon. And indeed, they gave their best, but it wasn't enough. But the biggest news of the night was when the coach announced his resignation. Well, this is something that we knew before, but it has to be official. It has to be said by the coach himself, because we understand he resigned even like a week ago. But he has to go on with the Africa Cup of Nations, and until after the AFCON, then he will officially announce that he has resigned from coaching the Gambia. It's been 5 years of coaching since 2018, and he's been in the Gambian national team, I would say now up to 6 years. He has been the one who qualified Gambia to its maiden Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon and reached the quarterfinals on that occasion. And this time in the Africa Cup of Nations also, he got the qualification. We got into the tournament. 3 matches, we were defeated in all 3 matches. First against champion Senegal, then the second game against Guinea. The last game where we had some slimmer of hope, a little glimmer of hope that possibly we could upset the indomitable Lions. Just as it's about to happen, everything started crashing again. So we lost to Cameroon. That means it's over for the Gambia. They will regroup again now to play in the World Cup qualifiers, which is going to continue shortly. And also for the qualification for the 2025 AFCON, which is going to be hosted in Morocco. So far, that's been the update here in Yamoussoukro. And the Gambia delegation is on its way. We should be, if everything goes right, we should be in Banjul at least by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. later today. Thank you very much, and back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Momodu Gajaga there and Yamoussoukro. Giving us update as to what happened. He said the coach resigned a week ago. But it has to be official. Sure. You understand?
Let me put it like this. If Gambia had gone on to win AFCON, I don't think he would have resigned, even if he had resigned a week ago. I think the performance, and he probably thinks he has taken them as far as he can take them. And as Amadou Tamba says, it's always good to leave and have people saying, oh, I wish you had stayed, rather than why don't you go? And so I think that was in his mind. And as I say, for all the success, he's faced a lot of negativity, as Julde has proven by saying everybody thinks he should go. Which is obviously not true, but a lot of people do.
Absolutely. So we have the press conference of the coach. Let's take a look at that video.
Gambia's fans went through a range of emotions before their team crashed out of the ongoing AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire this evening. 5-time AFCON winners Cameroon had to come from behind to score 2 late goals to reach the last 16 of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations by beating the Gambia and so knocking their opponents out of the competition. The Scorpions had threatened to extinguish Cameroon's hopes with a 91st minute goal before VAR intervened to rule it out for handball. Cameroon secured second place in Group C on goals scored after Senegal, the defending champions, finished top by beating Guinea 2-0. Cameroon will now face Nigeria at Abidjan's Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium on Saturday at 8 p.m. At the end of the match, Gambia's coach, Tom Samphier, gave a press conference at which he announced that he was resigning with immediate effect. Here is that press conference.
I'm very proud of my team. I think I can be one of the most proud coaches in the world of a team who bounced back of a team who bounced back after such two difficult games, a difficult start, difficult preparation, and then today playing a great game. I think we deserve at least a point. We could have had a victory, but yeah, I'm very proud as a coach. I'm disappointed in the result, and I would like to announce also something. This was my last match as national team coach of the Gambia. I stepped down. I have still a contract till August 2026, but I stepped down as national team coach of the Gambia. I will be always Gambian. I love the Gambia. I worked with a fantastic FA president. I worked in several federations, but never had such a fantastic president in my federation. Fantastic board, team manager Usman Rame, the best in the world, coaching staff, medical team, supporting staff, fantastic. The whole federation, amazing. I will be always the smiling coach of the Gambia.
He said he'll always be the smiling coach of the Gambia. Well, that's beautiful. The smiling coach of Africa. Yes, he said his contract was supposed to end in 2026.
Yeah, they gave him a 5-year extension, which a lot of people are against.
Yes.
Anyway, a lot of the people who are busy now saying, oh, why did he go? But a lot of those people were very critical. Why have they given him 5 years more? And so, you know, when he signed that in 2021, they were like, oh, you know, just give him 1 year and let's see how he does. And then, of course, he qualified for AFCON for the second time. And then people say, oh, maybe it's not such a bad idea that we get. But the very board that Jules wants replacing is the one that he's saying the best he's ever worked with. And he's worked with several, by the way. So I was saying that, you know, let's keep things in perspective.
So our focus now should be, we will soon play our World Cup qualifier.
I think it's
in
June.
6 months.
He said 6 months, but I think it's in June.
Yes, sort of. So I think we need to focus on that. Right now, we need to put our house in order because we want to go to World Cup this time.
Yeah, but I think we've lost our opening 2 games in the qualifiers. So, you know, that's another thing that I think influenced him. It's a tough World Cup qualifying group, and there's no guarantee that we're going to win and qualify. But yeah, the coach who comes along has a job to do. And coaches have done that where they've turned those fortunes around. But yes, you're right. We've never been to the World Cup, just as we had never been to AFCON before. We've now tasted that twice. Let's hope we can qualify for a World Cup. But it's not going to be easy because I think we lost to Burundi, who were not one of the stronger teams in the World Cup qualifying group. So it's not looking too good. Yeah, but that's what is ahead. And so for the coach who is coming in, I think the thing that coach has to work with is that currently you've probably got the best bunch of Gambian players spread across the globe that I can remember, and I'm, you know, nearly 100 years old, so I've been watching football for a long time and watching African football. When I first joined the BBC, my job was African football correspondent, so, you know, I've watched not just my own country, Sierra Leone, but generally. And right now Gambia has a fantastic crop, headed at the moment by Yankuba Minte, very exciting player, fearless. We saw what he did in his first game. He came on, turned the game around. We were losing 2-0, scored the 1 goal. We got the 2-2 that ended up, you know, sort of qualifying us. So he's a fearless player, very skillful, very brave in the tackle, and definitely somebody that you can kind of build a team around. But, you know, just because we have one brilliant 20-year-old, it doesn't mean all the 20-year-olds we have are brilliant. So it will have to be a mixture of experience and youth. But above anything else, they have to have the ability to be able to force their way into the squad. And the new coach, whoever he is likely to have his own ideas on. He might drop some players, saying, I don't. Just as football fans here in the Gambia, they used to say, oh, why is Tom picked this person? Why is Tom picked that person? And sometimes, you know, Tom has picked players who weren't even with a club. And so on. But
maybe this time the next coach will give us home-based players as well.
Nah, our home-based players are not at the standard where we're going to win AFCON or anything. They're not. Let's not fool ourselves. You know, the teams that are winning, they've got players playing in English Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Ligue 1. There's no team that's zooming up, that's got lots and lots of home-based players. You know, that's the standard is not of international or world standard at our league, really.
Yeah, and also
so let's be
let
realistic.
us not forget, I mean, at least to pay our huge respect to Babukar Gay, our goalkeeper. I mean, you know, I think, you know, he tried for the team very well. I mean, his performance.
One of the
really
goals he should have saved, so I'm smiling when you said we should give our respect.
Yeah, I know, but
I think to the whole team, the whole team put in a good performance, but I wouldn't pick him out as being especially. I would pick Minte because of how he, from the get-go, he tried to take the game to the opponents. Babukar Gay made a couple of mistakes, so I wouldn't necessarily pick him as somebody that we should be patting on the back. But yeah, I think the whole team, particularly in yesterday's performance against a determined Cameroon side that was fighting and fighting and fighting.
if they continue playing that way, I believe they should be
Absolutely.
able to do something.
If they had played that
way. I mean, I'm not saying Senegal is not going to win, but it's not going to be 3 goals to nil.
Yeah, I mean, my one thing that I disagreed with the coach was in the formations that he picked for Senegal and for Guinea. The formation and the attacking formation that he picked for Guinea, really, or the defensive formation rather that he picked for Guinea is what he should have picked for Senegal. But I think the noise around him was that, oh, let's attack them, let's attack them. You attack and you get destroyed. Albeit, played most of the game with 10 men. So that probably didn't tell you how good the team would have done, but it would have been interesting to see if they did ended 11 against 11. And against Guinea, who were not as strong a side, you then go and pick a defensive, you pick an attacking side against Senegal and a defensive side against Guinea. It didn't make sense to me at all.
It doesn't make sense,
as somebody who watches football, so it was a bit curious.
So let's tell Gambians. I mean, we're talking to Gambians, we're talking to people, critics of the guy that scored the own goal. I mean, I think it's important for us to highlight this. I mean, his intention was not to score a goal. His intention was to save the ball. This happened, you understand? But sometimes the way people behave and the way people talk and portray things, you know, can, you know, make other people go down.
Absolutely.
You understand? But that was not an, even when you look at the way he was trying to save it, I mean, it wasn't intentional. He was trying to, save the ball from getting into our own.
You're right. I mean, he was trying to intercept. That's his job as a defender. And sometimes these can ricochet off you.
It happens a lot.
I mean, the most infamous instance of an overreaction was in the 1994 World Cup when a Colombian player scored an own goal. When he went back home to Colombia, he was shot and killed.
I think I heard about that.
You heard me right.
Yeah,
he
I
was
heard
shot
they
and
killed
killed
him
for that own goal.
Yeah,
cost him his life.
Yeah, I
and that's the kind of overreaction. And you're right. Own goals are part of the game. It can happen. And you're right. He was trying to prevent a goal, and it was just an unfortunate incident. He deflected the ball past his own keeper. It can happen, and I don't think people should. I think the emotion of people that disallowed Cameroon back into the game, they made it 2-2. Kind of was the thing, and of course we thought we'd scored a third goal to make it 3-3, but it was handball. It was a clear handball. And interestingly, in the days before VAR, the referee would have given it because the referee didn't see it.
It would have been a goal.
Ondoa, the Cameroon guy, was going, no, he hit it with his hand. He hit it with his hand. And the referee was like, what are you talking about? And then they spoke to him in his ear and said, you better come and look.
It would have been a goal.
It would have
I learned that
given the goal.
There's a player that was very good at it. I think they mentioned him.
Well, Maradona. Well, when you say very good, he did it once. And he did it once very famously against England in the 1986 World Cup.
He scored a goal with his
hand. And he said it was a hand of God, because Argentina and Britain had been fighting over the Falkland Islands in the South Atlantic, which the Argentinians call the Malvinas, because it's off their coast. So, of course, they think it's theirs. But Britain, as usual, had gone and occupied it for 100 years and refused to give it up. And so there'd been that fighting. So that game for him was, kind of revenge for the fact that Britain had defeated them and they fought a war over it in the 80s. And so he went and he punched it. And I remember it very clearly because we were watching it live in England, and I had a lot of people in my sitting room. And so I got up to go and make coffee, and I said, oh, it was handball. And he said, no, he scored it with his head. I said, no, it was handball. So I thought the referee had seen it. And then I saw them putting the ball on the center spot for the kickoff, and the English players were rushing to the referee. No, he punched it. And the referee was like, get on with the game. And then later on in that same game, Maradona scored what has been described as the greatest goal ever scored in the World Cup. He beat half the England team, went round the keeper, slotted it in. I mean, people were screaming. Even the English commentator said, you have to say that was genius. I mean, it's the greatest goal I've ever seen scored in the World Cup. I mean, just unbelievable.
Against England?
Against England. People can find it. 86 World Cup.
Maradona.
Just go to YouTube, Maradona second goal against England.
I'll check it out.
You'll
I
see
want to see that.
It's a work of art. It's more than just football.
Maradona.
It's a work of art. Yeah, he
Thank
took
you.
the ball in his own half, turned, and then started beating the whole team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's all we have, Mr. Ade.
Are you not going to apply for Tom Sampier's, the job that he's vacated?
I mean, if they are paid that
Julde.
much, I definitely want
Julde,
to.
you could get in there.
Maybe she's going to be the first
I
female
heard
coach.
Julde speaking to Alaji Silla yesterday. She sounded very knowledgeable about football. So, you know. Hey.
Yeah, so viewers will take a short break.
break.
After the break, the program continues. We'll be right back.
Music.
yaa jara wayal jaral ma lu ne ndax dang ma sagal sigil ma fu ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo si ñamal ku ne
moom du la dóor du la saaga te du xaste te dalay teral fu ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo si ñamal ku ne
lambi mbëggeel xel a koy bëree te xol moo koy daal man seetlu naa la pour xam foo ma ne ko bëggee yow laa loo ma baby boo xamee ni ma la bëggee doo bàyyi
sama xol bi neex la yow la jëndi leen neex sama chéri
est-ce que yaa ngi fiir man maa ngi nii ku bëgg dafay fiir
sama firir bébé caw ma sa fiir
saf na ma yow saf na ma ni nga ma bee bëgg ma saf na ma
neex na ma yow neex na ma boo ma reyul daf loo ma bilaay be boo ma jëmee boo ma jëmee bébé boo ma jëmee boo ma reyul daf loo ma bilaay be boo ma jëmee
jigéen matul góor a koy mottali
am sa xol jar na di fàttali
ànd neexul deewa ñuy tàkkale
laf neexul mu ñu koy sàppali
li ma bàyyi ci yow weesu na coofeel te sa nobeleer na ku ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo ci ñamal ku ne
olo am toppatoo taan sa jikko yam na ku ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo ci ñamal ku ne
lambi mbëggeel xel a koy bëree te xol moo koy daan man seetlu naa la ku xam foo ma ne ko bëri li ay daan yow laa loo ma baby boo xamee ni ma la bëggee doo bàyyi
sama xol bi lu neex la yow ma la jëndi li neex sama chéri
est-ce que yaa ngi fiir man maa ngi miir ku bëgg dafay fiir
sama firir bébé caw ma sa xiire
na ma saf na ma yow saf na ma ni nga ma nobee bëgg ma saf na ma
neex na ma yow neex na ma boo ma reyul daf loo ma bilaay be boo ma jëmee boo ma jëmee bébé boo ma jëmee boo ma reyul daf loo ma bilaay be boo ma jëmee mbëggeel kenn du ko nokkos kenn du ko kaani suukaral
mottali
am sa xol jar na di fàttali
ànd neexul deewa ñuy tàkkale
laf neexul mu ñu koy sàppali
li ma bàyyi ci yow weesu na coofeel te sa nobeleer na ku ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo ci ñamal ku ne
Olo am toppatoo taana sa jikko yam na ku ne chéri sa mbëggeel dafa extra neex te doo ci ñamal ku ne
lambi mbëggeel xel la koy bëre te xol moo koy daan man seetlu naa la ku xam foo ma ne ko bëre lay daan yow laa loo ma baby boo xamee ni ma la bëgge doo bàyyi
sama xol bi lu neex la yëg ma la jëndi li neex sama chéri
est-ce yaa ngi fii man maa ngi miin ku bëgg dafay fii
ñu ma fii sama firi bébé caw ma sa xiire
saf na ma yow saf na ma ning ma noppee bëgg ma saf na ma
neex na ma yow neex na ma boo ma reyu def loo ma bilaay bi foo ma jëmee bébé foo ma jëmee boo ma reyu def loo ma bilaay bi foo ma jëmee mbëggeel kenn du ko nokkos kenn du ko kaani suukaral mu neex
ku am fii ku la sosal jàppal bul bàyyi tey ko fu neex
man xale bi dof ma liggéey bi laay jàpp sama xol bi mel ni mesek ballon kii fu ma jëmee
looy laaj chéri looy laaj ma indil la ko yow laa la
mbëggeel kenn du ko nokkos kenn du ko kaani suukaral mu neex
yow laa la
mbëggeel kenn du ko nokkos kenn
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before. With our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan, get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Yeah, so we are back again. You're watching QTV this morning. And now let's head to the last segment of the program. After talking about football and interacting with experts on what happened yesterday in Ivory Coast, the Gambia game against Cameroon. Now let's do some entertainment. And Churchill Balde, it's going to take us through the click segment. Why tey nag da nga ko war a lifin mu dox nag tey suma family nga am fii.
léegi su doxul de
su doxul dama la disqualified. Okay. Yeah,
anyway, this is my right here, Churchill Balde, and still rocking my Gambian jersey after the unfortunate defeat yesterday. But we're still part of the boys, and we move on with entertainment. So I'm joined by Abu and Fafa. How are you guys?
We're good, bro.
Nice. So come be ko all of us because send sound here, send sound. ñëpp xam nañ ne si wolof la leen.
Oh yeah.
So ñu bàyyi la ngeen nuyu seen fans before we get on with the interview.
Waaw ñu ngi leen di nuyu ñi seetaan ñëpp waa QTV di nuyu the entire Gambian population xam naa ne namoon neen Abu ak Fafa ñu ngi leen di wax ne ñoo leen raw lu bëree gise bi xawoon naa jafe tuuti waaye yàlla dafa dogal man nekkuma fi woon xam nga ñu ngi woon si up and down si di dem gën a nekk ci diaspora bi the past 2 years di fa yëngu di xam nga represent Gambia waaw saa bu ñu déggutee fii ñu ngi jaay affaire yi si biti kon maa ngi leen di nuyu everyone
and pressure bi naka la mel from fans seeing ne yéen a ngi xaaloon na dormant this past years
waaw every time li ñoo wax mooy Abu ak Fafa nama neen leen ci events yi ak programmes yi ndax loolu leen miinal waaye da ngaa gis ne the past 2 years li ma absent yëpp ñu si leen génnee faale wooma si leen génnee extra neex ñu ngi drop ay videos di leen wan ne we are still here waaye di nga tollu benn moment you just have to move xam nga am yeneen yoo xam ne di nga ko régler yoo xam ne is outside the music understand nga comme am nga sa life you have your life your family ba pare di nga bugg a gën a defaraat sa liggéey gën a xoolaat gën a affaire yi gën a professionnel xam nga gën a expert ci li nga def loolu rek la woon waaye ñu ngi leen di wax ne ñun di toog fii di leen wéyal ak di leen bégal si loolu rek leen nekk
ba pare tam ñu gis ne most music groups understand moom bi dañ ne mën a am ay jafe-jafe léegi sax du dee mujjee but yéen macha allah duñ dee digga sax ne am ngeen issues because ñeneen ñi waaw mostly dañ ko dee digga on social media they have issues but yéen love chat macha allah so how have you been able to put this team together bi nga xam ne loolu duñ ko dee musa digga on social media and still going through it
dañ dee jotee dañ dee xuloo
waaw waaye xam nga duñ ko dee digga anyway waaw xam nga duñ ko dee digga anyway nice
loolu ba bàyyi fa mu tontu si
amuloo fi banta ba laal ko loolu macha allah ndimbali yàlla la ak sunuy ñaari waajur kon li ma wax rek mooy man ak Abu sun ànda ak sun liggéey musique boolewuñu den bokkande ak bàyyi sun parents yi yar ñu si buggante yërëmante éene wante jàmm musique doog ñoo dab te ñu bokk benn bugga mooy li ñoo def yëpp pour suñ parents yi la parce que li ñu gën a dugal si musique waaye dañ ko doon na mu nekk suñ deret mooy pour jàppale suñ waajur yi kon ñooñu li ñoo def rek mooy lu ñu am yóbbul seen famille waaye du comme pour bàyyi wante xel wala di soxorante wala nga leen di dégg si any problème parce que ñoo bokk benn bugg
dama jege tuuti rek yaa mel ni comme ku ma xala ragal waaw tuuti rek
waaw
ñëwal tuuti rek benn
ragal
am na fit nag
waaw
yow nag dafa mel ni yaa bugg ma jege la parce que yéen a ma teg fii
waaw yow it man dama bëgg moom mu sori ma moom amalu ma njëriñ yow yaa ma amal njëriñ
waaw ba nga misbehave si programme bi rek
dalal this is my thing so still mun naa continue
loolu moo boole Abu ak Fafa waaye du musique te ñuy ànd nag muy suma mag su ma ne jaaral ni ma jaar ni su ma ne bàyyit ma bàyyi loolu la rek mooy suñu secret te yàlla nañu yàlla lafal cat
nice and how naka ngeen di bindee music is it ne the thinking comes from one person and the other one nii wala dafa am different projects ak nu mu dee ñëwee noonu lañ ko dee tege
non ñun ni ñoo bindee mooy dañ koo waxtaanee rek su ma gisee dara ne ko lii laa gis moom itamit mu ne ma lii laa gis ñu yokk si suñ parents yi tamit parce que family music la suñ rakka yi ku ci nekk sa idea xeebuñ ko nii la Abu ak Fafa dee bindee moom su xalaatee dara ne ma lii laa xalaat ma ne ko lii laa ci yokka noonu lañ ko def ba develop ko
nice and ñu ngi gis ne tamit na ngi sign record deal with Subatel loolu naka la ñëwee how did it come about ne ko ñu bëri ñoo ko xam waaye tey fii yëpp fii la moo leere
loo fiyee leeree kaay bi
Fafa Subatel music dafa nekk it's like one of the best so don't count Sénégal ci record labels in Sénégal su nekkoon the number 1 dina nekk number 2 waaw muy macha allah muy deal boo xam ne du pour Abu ak Fafa rek waaye pour Gambien si yëpp la soo ko seetloo ñun sa buñ demee Sénégal the past years biñ dooree ba léegi li ñoo gis Sénégal di bari dañ dee bëgg a prove to the Senegalese people and the Gambians ne leen whatever li ñoo export di ko indi we have it here pour gën a jàppa ci leen am Abu ak Fafa nag soo gisee biñ dooree ba léegi duñ toog di ci télé yi di joytu naan den ñu support nen ñu lii xam li nga war a def ko rek dafa neex to the entire Gambian population ñun suñ liggéey li ñu fa dugal borom Subatel Matar Diop maa ngi ko nuyu ku ñu yàgga bàyyi xel la depuis ñu nekk upcoming
he's been a fan
all through moo ñu njëkk a bugg a yóbbu Paris si Zénith bi boobu we are upcoming kon bi mu demee ba teg Subatel dafa dégg suñ projet buñ def ak jërëjërë beneen record label mu discuss ak ñoom ñu xam nga waxtaan ci seen biir ba yàlla def ñu sign ak ñoom last year in December so def ak ñoom this is the second project mooy bi génn nii bi ñoo promote nii di la bëggee
so judging from the way you're sounding it's like you're comfortable with the signature,
very
comfortable with the
very
record label, because mostly am na ñeneen ñoo xamante ne dañ dee regret working with certain level project and record labels, understand nga, but yéen it's like you're comfortable with that record label.
We are very comfortable because ñun biñ dooree dañ liggéey as family. Sun mag moo ñu doon manage but still moo ñu manage. Xam nga soo nekkee xale xam li nga bëgg a vision where you wanna be.
True.
Da nga xam fi nga teg sa tànk ku nekk daf laa ñëwal waaye you know where you wanna be. Ta suba teel jox nañu all the facilities we need.
Mashallah.
We have the best studio in Senegal. We have everything, the staff. Li ñoo war a liñ soxla daal ci artiste lu ñu war a def ñun dañoo toog rek ñu ne ñu lii ngeen di def practice ngeen di dem fii ngeen di def lii ngeen di def liñ soxla ci liggéey for now mashallah ñu ngi ñu ko jox.
Mashallah.
Kon Gambian si neen ko xaar. We're there, the first Gambian to sign in that record label, and we're representing the Gambia.
Mashallah. So lu ñoo def mooy dañ bëgg a xam Subatel seen production. Let's show people the visuals from Subatel, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Subatel Music.
jabar di la gis ci kër gi baby dafay tax ma sawar
bëgg naa la jëkkër loolu boo ko defee suñu mbëggeel dafay dëgër
oh yeah dinaa la toppatoo teral la ba lépp nice ay ca wax ma looy xaar
li may xaar ci yow est-ce que mën na ne li may xaar ci yow nga wan ma yërmande lii day baax ci yow baby
suñu ana mën a ne
man sonn naa
wax leen ci man sonn naa
aw ma ci kersa
di la bëggee di la bëggee di la bëggee géwél bi te ko ci temps man di la bëggee di la bëggee di la bëggee may kay te ko ci temps bëggee di la bëggee te ko ci temps di la bëggee te ko ci temps
Wala kon teel a dog way bale ñu mbalaxal ñu am suñu boppa.
Oh yes.
This is a very nice song. Understand? Man ñëpp xam nañ ne man I'm someone that vibes to music, especially good music. So what I relate with this production.
Yeah.
So how has it been Bolenko Guinea? What's the people's feedback?
Wow, mashallah, ñu ngi ci am a very positive feedback. Video bi ki ko shoot maa ngi ko nuyuwaale YV Image.
Nice.
He's a young Gambian. Moom mu ngi based in Washington DC.
Okay.
Biñ demee moom den ko fly mu meet ñu Miami.
Okay.
ñu shoot the video in Miami, Florida.
Wow.
Waa muy Gambian. So lii won na la ne production bi li moo yanja li moo nice ay Gambians ñoo ko seexal.
Ay Gambians ñoo si Java.
We are everywhere in the world and we are enough and we can be whatever we put our mind to.
True.
So pour Gambians put that in their minds xam ne lépp lu ñu uti outside we have it here.
Inside.
Comme seeni ndaw seeni doom ñu ngi génn di make Gambians proud.
Nice.
So we feel like we need more support from our people.
Nice.
Because ñun bariwul we are just less than 3 million people.
Oh,
So suñ jàppalante not just in the music industry lépp loo xam ne Gambien la kii jaay géeja be yéen be caaf beeg ñu jàppante ndax mbooloo rek mooy doole. waaw ndax ku wàcce sa ànd rek ànd boo dem fekk fa borom toog.
Yeah. And then you gis ne this single. am na press conference. which was held yesterday. How was it?
It went great. It was really amazing. maa ngi gërëm all the press media bi ñu ñëw teew ñëpp ndax dañ lañ oo in a very short period short notice ñoom ñëpp ñu ñëw macha allah Hadi Nyang from QTV ñëpp ñëw press conference bi wax nañ fa lu am solo wax nañ fa sun projects yi waajal ci 2024 bi Gambien si namoon nañu waaye ñu ngi leen di wax ne Abu ak Fafa ñu ngi leen di waajal concert boo xam ne is a comeback show waaw dina nekk show boo xam ne ñoom ñëpp dinañ si kontaan dinañ ñëw with the full team
bëgg naa sa ñëw si waaye bala ñoo xuus si loolu yéen a ngi introduce loo xamante ne is new mooy having a press conference for a single understand loolu man musuma ko fee gis in this country waxuma ne ni ko di xew feneen waaye fii this is the first time I'm hearing something because normally people organize press conference for entertainment when they are about to stage a show but yéen a single ngeen nekk di promo where did the idea come from and why
waaw idea bi comme ñun dañ nekk si label boo xam ne am nañ si ñoo xam ne seen xel màcc na bu baax si li ñoo def because ku si nekk rek xam nga li nga war a def waaw so ñoom ñun sun lépp ñu ngi ko xam nga ñu ngi ko teg programme si ni moo demee ak ni moo demee te production bi demee nii dafa laaj ñu gën koo wane fesal ko because def nañ ci lu jar loo xam ne li ma wax rek mooy soo gisee Gambie lu plateformes yu bari àggoon fa xëj na support bi ñu war a am from the government xëj na li ñoo gën a def ci suñuy production loolu moo la indil dina baax sax like Gambian artists yi they doing really well masha Allah waaye soo gisee awards yi am duñ siy gis Gambia wala festivals yu mag yi it's high time ñu def quality production yoo xam ne dinañ mun a participer ci awards yi festivals yi yëpp kon art ak culture dafa bokk si li developed réew te feel naa ne then left out because ñun bi dooree ba léegi we started in 2009 bi ñoo dégg Abu ak Fafa ba léegi ay xale leen musu ñoo dem ñu fay ñu $1 te ñu ngi am arts and culture what's the point te ñuy ay xale ci lii la ñoo dundee kon ñu ngi ñaaxaat government nen ñu jàppale bi yëpp soo ko déggee mooy nen ñu bàyyi xel lin moom ñu jox ñu ko waaye maa ngi kontaan ci government bi ndax dama jógee airport keroog ak si gis yoon yi and I was so proud. I was really proud.
It means you've been away for a while.
I've been away for a while. Moo tax bi ma agsee dama kontaan because lii leen gis Gambia liggéey ku fi toog nen la jàppale xam ne ku fi ñëw rek di nga liggéey dem kenn toogut fi forever kon su ma gisee ñu def lu nice ma impress maa ngi leen di wax ne job well done.
Nice. So lan mooy upcoming projects you expect from Abu and Fafa boobu naa ko bàyyi moom
waaw
waaye loolu lii rek wane na ko ne Abu ak Fafa ñu ngi ci liggéey te yu lakkee rek la ñëw indi incha allah yu saf saf ndax di la bëggee bi ñu indil leen nii xam nga ne ñëpp bëggee neen kon nen ko enjoy nen dem si YouTube bi xam nga like share loolu leen mun a loolu rek leen nit parce que ñun duñ nelaw danoo toog di xalaat lu ñoo def pour bëggal fans yi kon di la bëggee bi dañ ko génne pour bëggal leen nen ci bëgg nen ko share ñoo ko moom nen jël liñ moom jàpp ci ñun loolu rek leen soxla si ñoom di kontaan trop nag wax dëgg neex yàlla bi mu génnee léegi feedback si waaw daf laa gën a motiver daf laa gën a fasloo jom pour nga def moo
so yan artist ngeen nekk di look to work with rather right now si Gambia fii ak outside Gambia
oh yes ñu ngi am plans yu bari si projects yi nekk nii dinañ feature ay artists from Senegal mun naa nekk from anywhere international am na keroog rek one of Gambia's finest way of working on something xam naa ne Gambien si parce que kontaan te ñëpp a koo xaar
something is cooking
ñu leen dee liggéey rek suñu liggéey dañ dee xool suñoo job su nekkee studio suñoo build the sound dañoo seet kan lañ si feel parce que yenn yi sooy déglu the sound the melody nga xam ne kii su tegee
the right artist to jump on
exactly da nga ko see dégga
sargal album bi noonu la demee den invite G si Jamfa invite Royal Messenger si Africa Party the project bi ñoo def ni we would love to work with every Gambian artist because ñun bariwul suñ jàppantee rek puusante ku si am opportunity muy outside muy festivals muy lu munti doon give the link to other artists because we want to see Gambians ñuy génna more like ni artistes yi di ñëwee fii di am seen wërsëg ñu ni den war di génna te loolu pour ñu mun koo def mooy booloo jàppante we are small Gambia is a small country.
True.
su ñu bàyyee gannaaw di jiital yeneen i réew yi nga xam ne ñoom seen réew def nañ leen ci kaw. keroog dama ko wax ci press conference bi da ngaa nekk upcoming artist in Senegal. soo ñëwee Gambia all the big artists will open for you.
You see.
Which is very wrong. Gambians ñu gën a eew.
Yeah, we need some form of education, sensitization on things like this.
jiital lañ am. koo xam ne upcoming artist la su ñëwee fii nii our top Gambian artists ñooy perform bu wàcca yow nga play the show.
It's sad.
That's very sad.
It's very sad.
So we have to support our own. We are Gambians, and we are super proud. ñun si li nekk ñu ngi si. di jaay Gambia outside. Yeah.
Lola, let's spread the love. Let's export our culture out there because that's the only way outsiders in mun ñoo notice. So fi nekk ni time bi ñu ma wax ne almost jeena. So ma bàyyi leen ngeen wax seen final card la ngeen bëgg Gambian si dégg from yéen. Understand la leen war a expect from you people because you people are doing amazing.
Yeah.
Pour nga nekk fii ba pare and get signed by someone outside. And the achievement liggéey rek moo fa dee def.
And I want more Gambians to be signed there.
Exactly.
The link we are here. te xam naa ne
you are like their brand ambassador.
Oh yes, boobu Matar studio bi mu teg. soo demee Europe bi sax pour gis ko jafe na. So I would love to see more Gambians to go there, and ñu mun leen a jaay. Because bugguma rek Abu ak Fafa rek dem fa no. su ma demaan Sénégal sax ñu ne ñu Gambia am na ay artistes ma ne leen of course. Sénégal
But who are the top Senegalese artists that are in that level as well?
am nañ fa ñoom Sidi Diop, ñoom Bass Chung ak gars yi yëpp ñoom Ibro Najo gars yi yëpp fa lañ nekk.
It's a level who is Riza.
Oh yeah, so it's huge.
Nice.
So maa ngi bëgg naa moo Gambians
More
tam dem fa. Xam nga man yaay Sénégalais papa Gambian.
Okay.
moo tax ñun fi ñu taxawee si Sénégambia mënuma toog kenn wax dara Gambia wala kenn wax Sénégal because suñu yaay Sénégalais suñu papa Gambian.
So you were like sitting on the fence.
On the fence, like the ambassadors. So te loolu la sax xam nga Gambia ak Sénégal Siin Saalum la woon Kayoor Bawal Mandinka Empire. tubaab bi ñëw xaajale ñii di làkk French ñii di làkk English.
waaw dégg la
benn leen.
yow boo da nga faa téye sa boiram next time su ñëwaatee nga jeexal so ma bàyyi la yow sa final cadeau tey.
waaw di kontaan trop si invitation bi di kontaan si Gambien si di leen wax ne rek Abu ak Fafa fi pour di leen bëggal rek. di leen jox yu neex yi. kon neen si gën a jàpp rek gën a dooleel. parce que ñun
I love the way it sounds yu neex yi.
parce que dafa neex léegi loolu rek la nii nañ ñu gën a jàppale pare di deeku ñaan si kilifa yi wax ne ñu ñaanal yàlla lafal ñu cat éene bi ñu am si Gambia muy Sénégambia ak àdduna yal na ko yàlla mottali bañ ko mottali inshallah. Thank you so much kontaan nen te xam naa ne namoon nañ leen. Love you guys.
Shout out to Balde, my brother. he was my
Balde.
classmate. We were in the same class.
ñu ñoo ànd ñuy ñibbi mu ne ma ne Abu. He was the cleanest guy in our class.
And he was the smartest.
Yeah, indeed.
He was the smartest. Then amul benn class teacher bu tuddoon Mr. Osanga ndeysaan. su daan ñëw rek ñun ñëpp dañ daan dem si field bi. Balde rek daan toog classe. gars yi naan boy bi dafa bëgg a jàng trop. moo tax xamoon naa ne mbiram nii laa demee. Betut ma Ami Cissé thank you so much. Ami Cissé thank you so much for making this invitation like this interview happen. Yam sun sister sun manager Baboucar Minte the entire team ma gestu gis ay jigéen ñu téye caméra yi di jël.
Machallah jigéen ñu mën góor
la
machallah
QTV da nga ko mën a gis.
góor baax na jigéen baax na.
waaw xam nga.
Oh yeah.
So loolu idée ngeen Abu and Fafa sign with Subatel Music, understand, brand ambassadors, Senegambians, understand, pushing the culture out there. So let support, go online, stream their music, push them, you move them forward. So that's all from me till I come your way.
Yes, thank you very much, Rachel Balde. I mean, in addition, let's support. I mean, we are proud. Pour ñu dégg Abu ak Fafa, they are Gambians. I mean, loolu rek feeling bu neex la, it's a very good feeling. So léegi dafa des pour ñun ñu support.
Si ñun la des.
Ba pare authority itam ñu def lu ñu war a def. So suñ ko defee it's going to be a combination of effort. ñoom ñu ngi def seen part. It's left to us to do our part.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you very much, viewers. Until we come here again tomorrow, enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a wonderful day.